Hello and welcome, this is Eagle Eye 621, and today we're back in my starter farms world with another super simple starter farm. This is an optimally designed cactus farm, but I like to think of it more as an XP battery, and I'll get into that in a little bit. First, let's talk a little bit about cactus. Cactus grows one stage every 16 ticks. That means it takes about 18.2 minutes to grow, but they have a habit of falling on themselves or their neighboring cactus, which means that you tend to have a loss in excess of 60%, but a design like this cuts that loss down to about 45%, which sounds like a lot, but is still the best you're going to do unless you decide to go very resource heavy, very unnecessarily. So let's just get started with some building, and I'll actually show you how to make the maximum efficiency design, which does require some more resources. But for this one, you're going to need a hopper, a trapdoor of any kind, a double chest. Doesn't have to be festive as it is this time of year, but certainly can be. You're going to want to start with 16 sand and 16 cactus, and then depending on exactly how big you want to get, a different amount of glass panes, stone, and half slabs. These don't have to be specifically smooth stone, and this can also be iron bars if you'd like. That's your choice. And I have 2 buckets here for infinite water, but really you're going to need 4 per level. So let's get them into the inventory and start in the center here. So we're going to dig down 2 blocks on both sides. We're going to put our double chest down there with our hopper facing directly in. And then we're going to have our trapdoor just facing like this, so it is flush with the floor. And then this is our center point. And from our center point, we're going to put some sand in the 4 corners like this. Then we're going to skip and put another corner like that, and do that over here, and then over here, and then over here again. And then we're going to fill that in this pattern where we're skipping every other block, just like this. And now we can already start with our walls, and the walls are going to want to come one further out, just like this, and drag this all the way around. And again, one further out, just like that, and drag this all the way around. One further out here, and one further out here. We have some animals that are going to get in our way, but we will deal with them. And complete this box. And then you're going to want to go up at least 2 more. So some very nice block placing festivities with Eagle Eye 621. And this is a very simple farm, but it does require a decent amount of block placing. You can leave the corners off depending on your aesthetic choice. Of course, the blocks in the corner don't really do much. And once we get these here, we can come back in and add our water if you want, or if it's going to be harder for you to move around, we can avoid that. We're going to have cactuses on all 4 of these, and we're going to cut in between with these glass panes, and we want them to go all the way across. Now, strictly speaking, these glass panes are not 100% necessary, but they do increase, not yet, they do increase your efficiency by a couple of percent. So if you're strapped for resources, you can skip this step, but understand that you will have a little bit more than that 45% loss. Now you see we cut all the way across, and now we want to cut across again. And what we're doing is we're isolating every cactus so that it is by itself in its own little box, just like this. And make sure that you're not putting any of these glass panes directly above one of the cactus. And we're going to avoid this one in the center. You'll see why in a moment. And again, we're going to come through. And you can see that we've made a nice little pattern. And as I said, this one directly in the center, we're going to break. And we can add our water. And we put the water in all 4 corners. And you will see that very nicely the water will go right up to that hopper, and it doesn't overflow. And then we can put our cactus in. And once our cactus is in, we just want to put a roof on this. We're going to want to put top half slabs across this. So we can have one more block up here to help us with our spacing. And then top half slabs. And that's going to want to be all the way across. Not there. And all the way around. And again, it's a lot of block placing, but really the design is pretty simple. And the reason that you want top half slabs is to give the cactus a little bit of extra room to move around. When the cactus item pops off, it can go in a lot of different directions. And of course, if it goes straight up and straight down, then you're going to lose it. But the idea is to give it as much space as possible in order to avoid that and push to the sides. But what these glass panes are doing is they're preventing it from going too far to the side where it's going to land on a neighboring cactus. So we're going to come through, and there is a reason for the top half slabs that does give them a little bit of extra space and also lets us place more blocks down, because the beauty of a design like this is you want the centerpiece to be open, just like that, and you can use this as your starting point to make another round of this. And as you saw from the pattern, we're going every other and skipping like this, and this, and this. And the walls will come up again on all of these sides as quickly as possible in creative mode. It's a little bit harder to do to move around in survival, but it's not too bad. Now that hole in the center also means there's enough light in there that you don't have to worry about any mob issues, which isn't really an issue to begin with, but just in case you were concerned about lighting, you don't need any lighting. It's not required, and the daylight actually helps. And then if you see from the pattern, then we're placing the water in the corner. Make sure you press against the side, not against the half slab, or you'll just waterlog them. And you can see that the reason that the spacing was so important is because the center part doesn't flood. And then you do another row of your cactus and another row of your glass panes, and you can go all the way up to build limit if you want. And when the cactus in this area pops off, it'll flow all the way down there into the hopper in the center. Now to get at this, you can either put a door here so that you can walk through. Let's just punch that so we don't flood the entire area. And you can just walk through and access all of the cactus you need by coming into this chest, and then be sure that this remains closed so the cactus doesn't get stuck in there. Or you can dig a hole underneath and access them that way by digging through. As I said, you can go all the way to build limit, and the pattern continues. And as you can see in this one where I use glass just so you can see through, it's just a very simple repeating pattern with the hole transferred all the way through, even on the top, so there's always room for more. And the same idea. You can make a door, or you can dig underneath and go through and access all of the cactus you need, and then close that again so the cactus all finds its way back into that center hopper. Now I did say that I look at this as more of an XP bank, and the reason for that is that Cactus has a very unusual property. It has a very high XP when you burn it in a furnace. It is 1 XP per cactus, which is the highest in the game, tied with diamond ore. So this is the only renewable way to get that high of an XP farm. And I'll link a bunch of my XP videos as well. In the 1.17, since zero ticking has been patched, we use cobblestone now for double layers, and I'll link one of that. But I also have one of my earlier videos was using a absolutely massive version of this and a bamboo farm as a fully automated way that does not involve any zero ticking. Now, I did say there is a way to get more efficient, and to get more efficient, you need to use a lot more resources, and this is what you're looking at. Really, it's the hopper minecart, which is going to do you in, because what happens here is that for this one, we're going to put it on top of that. We're going to put a rail on top of this hopper. Let me get some placement blocks above it. and then put our hopper minecart there. And then we're going to break this rail and drop our sand on it. And now what's going to happen is that when the cactus breaks off, since it's penned in, the hopper minecart will pick it up before the cactus is able to destroy it. But what that does mean is you're looking at a hopper minecart per cactus, and you're increasing it, figure, roughly by 2, so double of your output per per cactus, at the cost of a hopper minecart. So it's way not worth it in terms of the lag you generate and the excess amount of blocks. This is what you're looking for. And I'll link that older video. I will also give a quick shout out. I know Exumavoid did a video on this a very long time ago. I linked to that in my last one with a very similar design, I think without the half slab action, which does increase the efficiency a little bit. But in terms of this 4x4 or this 16 per layer cactus design, a little bit of math slipping in there with Eagle Eye 621. So I'll have a link to his old video in the description as well for you to take a look at. And that's really all there is to it. This will keep generating cactus in the background. You can grab it when you want. I tend to burn most of it for XP, and that's it. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a like. If you found it interesting, consider sharing it with one of your friends or one of your favorite Minecraft YouTubers. And for more videos like this, do be sure to subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.